This is the story of a journey that begins on the rural edge of a Parisian suburb and culminates in an unprecedented trip across the rooftops of London's most famous landmarks.
To go from A to B, the thing that gets in the way is the buildings.
They're taking risks, in our great public buildings.
I always imagine architects like that, don't they? That something unplanned happens.
Imagine living in a city where you didn't have to rely on overcrowded trains, gridlocked roads, and packed pavements. Imagine having superhero abilities, able to leap from rooftop to rooftop, as if nothing, not even buildings, could stop you. This is parkour, the anarchic new sport of free running. Free running is a new urban sport and was created by Sébastien Foucon, born out of the childhood games of him and his friends. After starring in major ad campaigns for mega brands including Nike and Toyota, interest in the sport has gone global. But free running is more than just a heart-in-mouth spectacle put together for advertisers. It's a discipline. It's about clearing all obstacles in your path, and for its founders and those they inspire, it's about being free in towns and cities designed to contain them.
Le free run a toujours existé.
Free running has always existed. Free running has always been there. The thing is that no one gave it a name. We didn't put it in a box.
In the box. C'est un art originel.
It's really an ancient art. I think that in Neanderthal times, to hunt, to chase, or to move around, they had to practice the free run.
Pour aller pêcher ou pour se déplacer, ils étaient obligés de pratiquer le free run.
The origins of this new international movement lie in a quiet suburb of Paris called Lys, and in the after-school games of a younger Sébastien and his friends.
For us, growing up in Lys, it's a beautiful town with nature and all that, but there was nothing to do. So here is where free running began. It started here, it originated here. We were little. This was our school. We were only this high. This is where we'd be after school with our sandwiches and snacks. We'd be running around. Everyone would be running, turning, jumping.
Tourne et bouger, sauter déjà. C'était un peu jouer à cache-cache, comme tous les enfants jouent à cache-cache.
It was a bit like playing hide and seek, like all children would play hide and seek. We'd chase each other, jumping. It became our game.
Parce que forcément, on allait aussi sur l'école.
Of course, we would also go on top of the school. We would play at being ninja, superheroes. That was the way it was. It was all in our imagination. From then on, we developed. And really, the whole town was there for us, there for free running. You just have to look, you just have to think, like children. Here, children would arrive and at least one child would inevitably do this. In fact, all kids think like this. For us, this is how we still see it. This is the vision of free running.
Donc, quand on était petit, on a continué notre cheminement, comme ça, les années passent.
So the years passed and our game carried on. And we progressed until we were able to face heights and jumps like this from the age of 15 or 16.
Comme ça, à l'âge de 15-16 ans. Et ça, c'était.
This was the beginning of the big jumps.
À la base, il y avait d'abord un groupe de jeunes.
Right at the beginning, we were a group. We were very young. Then we grew up and each of us went our own way. Some stayed and continued with the discipline. Others arrived like Johan and Jérôme. Then we made a joint decision to create a group, the Yamakasi.
En fait, j'ai rencontré un copain qui connaissait donc justement les.
I had a friend who knew the freerunners. I wanted him to introduce them to me, and I went to see them in Lice. Well, that was the beginning of the journey.
Puis voilà, ça s'est fait l'un à l'autre.
At the start, I was surprised because I saw people who'd been doing it for a long time, and they were super good. But I recognized I couldn't really do very much. But people helped me and explained it to me. We were doing pretty much whatever we wanted to. Then after this first day, I came back every day to do it and do it and do it and do it until I knew more stuff.
The cult international success of the new sport draws hordes of budding freerunners to try out their moves on the original playground of the town's housing, parks and shops. Unsurprisingly, Lice is reluctant to take its place in history as the birthplace of free running.
Regarding this new discipline in our town, right at the beginning of my office as mayor, I was, I must say, quite surprised and worried because everyone could see young people up and down the walls like cats. I can't prevent young people from doing that. They're responsible for themselves. We can explain the risks to them, make available the equipment that they need, and if they feel like jumping, they can jump in total safety, on mattresses, and not on schools during lessons and retirement homes, frightening elderly people.
For Sebastian, free running is not just a game. They're not just kids playing around on rooftops. This is their discipline, and it's become a way of life.
The traits you display in life are the same traits you display in free running. The doubts and fears you have in everyday life are the same you find in the discipline. In everyday life, though, they can be more difficult to combat. Free running is a way of fighting one's fears and demons, and then one can reapply this to life.
What I liked about Sebastian was his intellectual way to tackle free running. He is the one who first described free running. Nobody had put into words what we were doing. He's probably the first to have tackled the philosophical side of free running.
Sebastian's philosophy is informed by a surprising set of modern cultural reference points, including The Matrix, Star Wars, and Bruce Lee.
For Bruce Lee, I have a great respect for the man and for his philosophy. Le concept du Jeet Kune Do.
Through his concept, the Jeet Kune Do, amongst all the established disciplines such as karate, judo, taekwondo, he appeared with a fresh, brand new concept, something that was there but had to be developed.